think you'll beat me off the launch, or I'll beat you?
Maybe my whole shot's pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Haha, I win. Not too shabby. I think that's some Paul So Hard merch. Marlboro wheelies. I'm so fast, boy! See, I used to get off the bike like that as a joke, but now I do it for real, because now I had a track day. Man, I wish this thing had a freaking exhaust. It would sound so freaking cool. Let's go straight. Oh my gosh! They like did a drug bust over there or something. There's so many cops. Wow, look at all these new lots. Wow. You wanna see what's this way? Let's see what's this way. Oh, this thing is so flickable, boy. Oh my gosh! Feels like a 600 to me. Oh, this is some stoppy creek. Yeah! Oh, that's a police car right there. Let's go. I really don't know where to go. I don't even know where I am. Just exploring. New roads, who dis? Got a little private lot right there. Do some supermoto exploring on my new Supermoto 1000. Ooh, playground. Let's go play. Let's go golfing.
Let's go golfing. Let's go golfing.
Oh, that looks like a nice road. I think we should go hit that road. Man, speaking of nothing, should I tell you guys about this little story? This little lesson I learned, okay? And why you should be nice the first time. Let me give you a little bit of life experience on something I just dealt with the other day. No, let's should we turn right or should we go straight? I think it's a green light. Yeah, it's definitely a green light. Anyway, I think in a recent video I was telling you guys how like my girlfriend was moving, so anyway, the night before we're supposed to move, it's like 3 a.m., right? I've been sleeping through the upstairs neighbors being loud, but apparently she had been up for like an hour because they were just stomping. It was like they were playing Just Dance on the Wii or something, just having a good old time at 3 a.m. in the morning. And don't get me wrong, I like partying, hardying to the night, you know, whatever, having fun with my friends on the weekend. But if I was in an apartment complex surrounded by other people, I'd kind of chill out, you know, or find a different spot to do it if it was going to be that late. But that's beside the point for now. So she wakes me up. People above us are stomping, being loud. I'm like, oh, gosh. I could fall back asleep, but now I really can't because now I hear the stomping. And also, you know, you got to do something for old girl. You can't just let her be, you know, upset about it. Honestly, calling the cops didn't even really crossed my mind. I really just, first instinct was to just go up there. So I go up there. And this is where the lesson is to be learned, ladies and gentlemen. But I won't tell you what it is yet. Okay, unless I already did, I don't know. But basically, I go up there, I knock on the door. And like, okay, by the way, also, as I get up there and I round the corner, I hear the screaming from like down the hallway. Like, there's like some girl in there being loud as hell. Anyway, I get to the door. I hear them like partying in there, doing whatever, and I think for a second, do I knock gently and ask them politely, hey, can you guys just keep it down a little bit, like, you know, we're moving tomorrow. This is part of the reason that it kind of sucked too, is we needed to be up early to start moving in the morning, and we're now our sleep is being, you know, screwed. And they had already been doing this for an hour, so I was like, okay, they've already been doing this for a while apparently. Do I start off by being nice, or do I just get right into being pretty stern with them because, you know, they've already been doing this for a while? So I thought about it for a second, And I kind of really wanted to take the nicer approach, but then I didn't. Because on my way up there, my adrenaline was already kind of spiking. Because, I mean, I'm not really a confrontational person, but I guess when it comes to the defense of my woman, it's pretty easy for me to get confrontational. So, basically, I got up there. So, anyway, YouTube censor! Censor! That's illegal! So, I get to the door. That's when I start hearing them being loud from inside. And I'm like, oh, whatever, here we go. So I go, boom, boom, boom! Like a cop. Oh, hey, gas station, look at that. Like, I knocked freaking hard like a cop, honestly. And, I hear like two girls in there go like, who's that? And then somebody's like, oh, somebody probably called the cops on us. And I'm like, okay, so they're thinking, you know, I'm like here for a noise complaint or whatever. And then and after knocking on the door real hard, I realized like their door wasn't even shut, so it's like literally cracked open. And as they're talking about it, I'm thinking like, what if I just open the door and I just look in there and be like, what are you guys doing? Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
What's up? I was at the door part, right? So I knocked real hard on the door. I see that it's like actually like borderline cracked open. And I'm thinking like, oh, he just went through the glass. I'm thinking like, do I open the door right now? Like the intrusive thoughts are telling me like, just open the door and just ask him like, hey. I mean, I did already knock pretty hard though, so it'd be kind of weird to change the energy and be like, hey, what are you guys doing? Like, hold on, wheelie brake real quick. Cut this out. So yeah, anyway, it'd be kind of weird to just change my energy from like a freaking hard knock to, hey, what's up guys? Would you mind, being a little more quiet? So I went ahead and stuck with it. But anyway, so I'm sitting there, I'm waiting for them to answer the door, and oh, I kind of know where we are, I think, because it smells like churros. We're heading back to the lot right now. So anyway, yeah, because like that churro place, yeah, I know exactly where we are. The owner of the apartment, I've seen him one time before because of a leak that we were having an issue with, and so he's kind of strange. He comes up to the door. He likes to talk to the people, so he comes up to the door, pushes it shut, locks it, and through the door goes, who is it? And then this is where it's going through my mind still, do you be nice or do you be rude? And unfortunately, I regret, you know, like, I know you guys like usually see the chill side of me. Tonight I was just ready to just crash out, I guess. So I didn't choose the chill route this time, and I said, you know, and it's honestly kind of bugging me that he was talking to me through the door instead of just talking to my face. So when he goes, who is it? I just stared at the people and I'm like, can you guys stop stomping so f***ing loud? And then like a little bit of a pause, and then he's like, oh, my bad bro, or like, you know, I'm sorry bro, or whatever. And but he still won't just answer the door, right? So I'm like just staring at the people, waiting for him to open the door and like actually talk to me. So he finally cracks the door a little bit and like looks at me and he's like, I'm sorry bro, we'll keep it down. And I'm like, cool, give him a thumbs up, go back to the apartment. 20 minutes goes by. They were obviously trying to stay quiet, but it wasn't really working, so we couldn't fall asleep. And then are they still there? Yeah, there's only one left. Heck, snap it. I wanted to know what was happening. Alright, sorry, getting sidetracked. Back to the story. So go back to the apartment. 20 minutes goes by. You know, they tried to keep quiet, but it didn't really work. So then at the end of like 20 minutes, they just gave up, dude. They went right back to being as loud as they were before. We can't sleep. We never fell back asleep in the first place. So she's like, my turn. We go up together. This is where it was like just a plethora of just wrong decisions, right? So like we're like waiting outside thinking like, all right, how do we want to do this? We're just like listening to them. Once again, when we come up and around the corner, that one girl is like is so loud, dude, we can hear her from the end of the hallway. And we come up, knock on it gentle this time, because we're like, okay, obviously being like rude the first time didn't work, so you know, we'll try the nicer approach this time. This is private road, YouTube, so I just gotta do one for the boys. Anyway, Yeah, we take the nicer approach this time. We ask him, you know, politely, hey, honestly, the conversation had a lot of details. I don't remember that much of how it went, but the key things I do remember. 4 people came up to the door. One was a guy, yeah, we're not gonna pass that, no thanks. I'm good, buddy. One was a guy, like, little dude, mustache, cool guy. I would say pretty similar to me when I'm not in a crash out mode. Wanted to de-escalate the situation and was actually enjoyable to talk to, you know, helped us both get an understanding of each other's sides. Next guy was the apartment guy. He's obviously scared of human interaction, so he doesn't, you know, really, he's basically invisible. Third person, girl, who was super freaking loud. She comes out, she starts talking to us. She's like, oh, I think what the stomping was my heels. And her voice is so loud, dude. It's like she's just straight screaming. But she's talking, like it sounds like she's talking, but just way louder than everybody else. Like straight from the stomach type of talk, you know? And then, oh, we should have went through there. Oh well. We'll just come back out to the main road. And then last guy, just this freaking coked out looking dude, bug-eyed mother, looks like a douche and acts like a douche, bro. I could not stand that guy. He just like, it was like he just wanted to escalate the situation. So I'm trying to talk to homie with the mustache, and he's trying to be like, you know, like we're just trying to have a, you know, fun Saturday night. We're hanging out, you know, this is Dallas, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, I totally get that. But you guys gotta understand, like, you're being loud. Like, people are trying to sleep. You know, I forgot to mention to him that we were having to move in the morning and stuff. But he understands our perspective. I understand his perspective. But then, douchebag, bug-eyed bro, gosh, he just kept saying stuff that was pissing me off. And, like, my girlfriend was, like, you know, we kind of get to the end where, like, the situation's de-escalated. Everybody gets each other. And she's like, okay, like, and they're like, we're about to go to bed, like, we'll be quiet, like, don't worry. And she's like, okay, good, because if it happens again, I'm gonna call the cops. And freaking Bug-Eye looks at us, and he's like, okay, get on then. Like, I don't, like, call the cops. And I just stare at him, like, nothing, oh gosh, dude. Okay, here's another detail, right? So, like, this is Texas, right? And I know there's a lot of people in the room. So just in case things go sideways, I was packing, okay, right? Concealed. So one of the details I forgot to mention, my girlfriend had covered their peephole, which is not technically illegal, right? Although it could lead to, it's not a good idea, okay? It's not a good idea. And I tried to tell her, don't do that, but, you know, she wanted to cover the people because they wouldn't just talk to us. They just kept trying to talk to us through the people. So whatever. So then the freaking bug dude is like, you understand how it's threatening to cover the people, right? Like, he's just like trying to cause a problem out of every little thing that he can. And I'm like, dude, like, oh my gosh, he was making me mad. I'm like, you want to see something threatening? You know, yeah, I'm not really gonna do that, obviously, but I was thinking it. So anyway, so yeah, so then when he's like telling us, oh, get on then, call the cops, I'm just staring at him. I've locked eyes with him for like 10 or 15 seconds while mustache bro's talking, you know, yapping in my ear, trying to de-escalate, and I'm just like, give me one more reason, bro. Like, I'm a pretty peaceful guy, but I don't know, something about when you're like interrupting my sleep, I have like no more tolerance for it when this is happening at like 3 in the morning, right? But nothing happened. I just kind of stared at him for a little bit and was like, whatever, you know, the situation's done. They're about to go to bed anyway. Let's just all go to sleep and nobody can go to jail tonight. And everybody lives happy ever after, right? So anyway, that's what happened. But moral of the story, and what the guy kept saying to me is like, hey, you know, like when you come up here though, you know, cussing right off the bat, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know, it gives off the wrong impression because they weren't aware that they were being loud or whatever. They weren't aware they were doing anything wrong, which they should be aware that they were because it's 3 in the morning, right? There's a silence thing after 10 a.m., you know, or not 10 a.m. There's a silence thing after 10 p.m., so they should be well aware that what they're doing is technically, I think it's technically illegal to be like being that, whoa, oh, being loud and disruptive at 3 in the morning. Who's honking? I don't know who's honking. But yeah, anyway, so moral of the story is I wish when I had went up there I was respectful the first time, because they were quiet after the second time, right? So I don't know if that has any relationship to the fact that they were just actually about to go to bed, or if it's actually because we talked it out and we're nice the second time. Either way though, the way I see it, and like my girlfriend thinks it's totally justified to have gone up there pissed off in the first place anyway, because it's 3 a.m. They shouldn't be doing that anyway, right? But at the same time, and like I guess they were aware that they were being loud, because they immediately thought it was a noise complaint from the cops when I knocked the first time, right? So like hadn't crossed my mind either until she mentioned it. But regardless if they're completely in the wrong and should know they're completely in the wrong, the first time I went up there I wish I had been nice, because I don't know, I just feel like even if you just give them every benefit of the doubt and are nice on your initial impression, people are more likely to listen to you when you're nice, because it just honestly makes you want to be rebellious when you just start off by being a jerk, because if they didn't think that they were being rude, then they're only going to see you as the bad guy. If you at least start off by being nice, then I would say the second time you come up, it's 100% justified to just be as rude as you want. And so it's just a little bit weird to start off by being rude though, and then try to be nice the second time. So yeah, moral of the story and the lesson that I learned is just be nice the first time when somebody does something wrong or pisses you off or whatever, and then you can crash out as much as you want after that. That's my little story. You guys are learning life with me as I go along and like kind of come out of my shell. So I used to be like really antisocial when I was a kid, but pause. Yeah, anyway guys, honestly man, as hard as it may be sometimes, and like as much as you may just want to like lash out and just, you know, choose violence right off the bat, I feel like it's a way to solve things. I'm not gonna say violence is never the answer. However, I feel like talking is a better first choice, better, you know, a better whatever, I don't know. Violence is the alternative. I'm not gonna say that you shouldn't get violent, because honestly that freaking guy, if I had been nice the first time and had to deal with that the second time, it'd be hard for me to be nice again. But I will say, if I was in their scenario, if I was in their situation, and especially if I was actually trying to be quiet, like they clearly weren't, but if I was trying to be quiet and I thought that I was, and I just turned out I wasn't, you know, the walls are thin, or like, you know, you sound like you're 400 pounds when you walk, you know, to the neighbors downstairs, and then some guy came up and their first interaction with me was the way that mine was to them, then I could totally see myself just being like, you know, I'll try to quiet down, but man, F that guy, right? Like, why couldn't you just be nice, you know? I'd be more than happy to oblige and be quiet, you know, if you just ask nicely. That's the thing, man. Like, people want to be rebellious when you're rude right off the bat, because they're clearly oblivious to the fact that like what they were doing was disrespectful. So you just have to acknowledge that people don't always understand that they're being disrespectful.